Out of all of the supports from Marvel Rivals, only one of them has proved themselves to be not only held in such high regard by half of the community, but also completely hated by the other half, and that is Rocket Raccoon. And today I wanted to talk about how we could fix Rocket Raccoon to not only be viable in comp without needing the team up, but also to just be a more fun and well-rounded character in general. But before we get into all that, I do ask that y'all like and subscribe on this video, as it does help me out a lot. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so if we can hit that goal, that'd be amazing. But with that all being said, let's get on with the video. Now, in order to start fixing Rocket, we need to understand his strengths and his weaknesses in his current state. Right now, he has really good self-mobility with his wall climb and his shift, he has a very high DPS, and he's able to res a teammate every 45 seconds. But his ultimate is a little bit lackluster, and his healing isn't the best. It isn't burst healing, it is a continuous over time, which doesn't really hold up with the faster paced meta of the game. Now, the main weakness to this, as many of you know, is that because of his HOT or healing over time, Rocket Raccoon players tend to just sit back and hold heals all game. Now, this does not provide enough value to the team, and this is exactly what I'm looking to solve today. Now, I've dealt with characters who just heal bot all game. I've played Overwatch, I know of Mercy and Lifeweaver. But with those characters, there's a lot of utility within their kits. Mercy has the damage boost, Lifeweaver has his pull and his pedal. Rocket Raccoon doesn't really have enough utility for his team to justify his heal bot playstyle. So today, I really wanted to look into his character, not only his playstyle, but mainly into the personality of the character, which I feel will drive a lot more into his playstyle to have a more dynamic kind of character. I want to preface this by saying I do understand that a game like Marvel Rivals does need a support character who is just very easy mechanically, so anyone can just pick them up and understand how to play the role, which could then lead them into playing other supports. I do understand that characters like this are very important, but someone like Rocket Raccoon does not fit that description, for me at least. Rocket Raccoon is a very aggressive, very vulgar character, and I think that the playstyle of sitting back and just watching your team play the game doesn't really invoke Rocket Raccoon to me. It very much screams a more passive, more laid-back kind of character. Someone like Mercy, someone like Lifeweaver, where these characters, they aren't the most mean-spirited. They're very kind-hearted people, so having the personality of someone who is a healer, someone who's a medic, someone who does light bending, I guess, someone like that, I understand why they are more passive, why they only want to do healing. But someone like Rocket Raccoon, whose entire personality is guns, that doesn't make sense as a passive healer in the game, who a lot of people, they don't really even shoot the primary weapon, they only heal. So again, I really want Rocket Raccoon's playstyle to reflect his personality, shifting a lot more of his healing focused gameplay more into shooting his primary weapon. Because let's all be honest, shooting your gun at the enemy is way more enjoyable than shooting heal balls at your teammates. I want him to play a little bit more like Baptiste, with his weaving in of shots and healing, more than Lifeweaver, where he's primarily doing healing, and then if he gets jumped, then he'll shoot his gun. How do we do this exactly? Well, here are some ideas that I proposed. Now, the first idea I have is actually letting 2 or 3 of your healing balls stack on the same target. Not only will this allow you to not have to worry about just shooting the same target over and over again with your healing balls, but you're able to actually shoot your primary weapon because the healing is a little bit higher than just having the one orb roll around them, do its healing, and then the second orb comes, does its healing. The main problem with how Rocket's heals work is because they don't stack, you don't have the option to shoot your primary weapon. Anytime you deviate from just shooting your heal balls, your target is going to get low, and then you have to shoot them again with more healing. That's not intuitive, that's not enjoyable, and allowing the player to have to micromanage how many heal balls they're shooting out versus how much damage they're doing, that is a great way to make Rocket's character a lot more intuitive, makes him a lot more enjoyable to play, and honestly raises the skill ceiling on Rocket Raccoon players. Now, this change would make him easier to play when you're only running 2 supports, as right now Rocket is really only good when you're running 3, as he doesn't provide the burst healing output that you will desperately need in this game. So giving him the stacked healing will allow him to keep up with the burst healing characters, while also letting him shoot his gun, because that is objectively the more fun thing to do. Now, that suggestion is really only a quality of life update, but something that could really benefit his team while also playing into Rocket's personality would be an alteration to his armor packs. Right now, when you pick up an armor pack, you only gain the 25 over health, but something I would suggest is allowing you to also gain a temporary attack boost while under the effects of the armor pack. While you maintain the armor, you just do a little bit more damage. Maybe the same as a Mantis boost, or maybe a little less, but having the armor equipped would allow you to continuously do more damage. And this effect would break once you lose the armor. Something like this is a very small change, but can have a major impact in games where your DPS are constantly picking up armor packs and also having a damage boost. This not only would make armor packs a little bit more valuable because of the damage boost, but also make the beacon a lot more of a priority when you're playing against Rocket. Right now when I have a Rocket on my team, I really only go to pick up the armor packs if it's in a convenient spot for me to grab them. But with this change, it would make it a lot more enticing to go pick up the armor packs and would make Rocket's utility a lot more useful. Another small change I would implement would not to actually have the respawn beacon break after respawning a teammate, but have it just go into its collapse formation and still be able to spew out the armor packs and the jump packs while also recharging the 45 seconds before it can res another teammate. This would not only increase the uptime and usefulness of the armor packs, but if we implemented my previous suggestion, it would also bring in a lot more damage boost for your team, making Rocket's utility even better. As of right now, either once you res a teammate or once your beacon is broken by the enemy, you have to wait 45 seconds before you can bring your team more armor packs and more jump packs. And that is just ridiculous. That is how long it takes for a fight to develop. And without your utility, all you're going to be doing is just shooting out heal balls. And that is not fun. What we're trying to do today is make Rocket fun, and these suggestions would completely change his playstyle, allowing him to just be more useful and be more fun to play. My final suggestion on how to make Rocket Raccoon more useful and more fun to play, while allowing him to tap into more of his personality to impact his gameplay, would be to just increase the amount of damage boost that his ultimate provides. Right now, I think it's around a 35 to 40% damage boost, and that can burst through some of the healing ultimates with a little bit of focus fire. But honestly, right now his ultimate is one of, if not the worst support ultimates in the game, and allowing him to just do an absurd amount of damage with it to break through all the defense ultimates is how you are going to change this character into something way more useful. Right now, he just gets outclassed because every other character can just hit a button and they don't die. And then also their team doesn't die. And that is very frustrating for Rocket Raccoon because you have to pop your ultimate and then have your entire team focus one person to be able to burst through all that healing. But allowing your character to just put down a 60% or maybe 65-70% damage boost can just completely turn a fight instantly, allowing you to burst through these healing ultimates. Even with the slightest bit of focus fire, you can still burst through these ultimates with these damage boosts. This would completely change his character, completely change his utility, and make him a actually useful character and someone you'd want on your team. Now in my head, I don't view this as very overpowered because we already have some insane support ultimates that can just completely win fights by just hitting a single button and standing still. But Rocket's ultimate requires a little bit more team play because you have to not only position it correctly, but also have your team actually utilize the damage boost and also have your team pick a target that they need to burst down first. There's a little bit more nuance to it. So I imagine that this ultimate wouldn't be that broken if implemented, but it's just something that I would like to see. But these are just some of the suggestions I have to fix Rocket Raccoon and make him less of a throw pick in comp. If you have any other suggestions, let me know in the comment section below, and make sure to like and subscribe on this video. I'm going to leave y'all with the rest of this as I do just troll a little bit and sit on my Groot and just start killing everyone. But with that all being said, thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of the video.
You're ready for action! Much better.
Glad to help. A little help, please. There's a lot we can destroy.
I'll patch you up. Someone scratch my back. You're ready for action.
Please, we're hurt. That's much better. They look like they mean business.
See, I'm fucking helpful. I'll patch you up. My strength is renewed. We are
Double kill!
He's gonna get a ghost down. This is a nice shot.
Victory!
I'll patch you up my way. This is real firepower. Maximum
This is real firepower!
Come on, time.
Don't mind me. I'm just dying. I was a little messed up
Got your
there.
back.
Thanks.